And we are coming to you live from the studios of eTVGhana here inside Asylum Down with yet another edition of the Men's Lounge. And my name is Raymond Nyamado. I'm sitting in for your regular host, Ernest Odame, who is currently under the weather. Ernest Odame, wherever you are, we say speedy recovery to you. But new face, same old excellent content on the Men's Lounge. And coming up on tonight's edition, we'll be taking, a deep look at fatherhood. And we're actually going to deal with the pains and joys of fatherhood. And this weekend, or this Sunday, will be Father's Day. And we'll take this opportunity to say a big thank you and congratulations to all fathers. And this is a very special edition of the Men's Lounge. And so, my guests will be doing a good discussion with me on fatherhood. We are going to deal with fatherhood issues on the show this evening. But let me say a big thank you to our sponsors, Alomo Bitters. Alomo Bitters is a herbal-based alcoholic drink produced in Ghana by Casapreco, and it's a herbal-based alcoholic drink produced from some of the finest plants in Ghana. You can enjoy it straight, or you can enjoy it on the rocks, or you can also, mix it with your favorite mixer. And so Aloma Bitters is proud to be part of this particular event or this particular show. And also, the discussion is interactive. You can join us with your thoughts via WhatsApp on 02022220054, 02022220054, and we'll be glad to read your messages on the show this evening. Your suggestions, your questions for our guests will be welcome on this text line. And also, later on in the show, we open the phone lines for you to join us with your thoughts on the discussion this evening. We'll go for a short break. When we return, I'll be introducing my guests to you, and then we zoom straight into the discussion. From the break, you are still watching Men's Lounge with me, Raymond Nyamado, and like I said earlier, I'm sitting in for your regular host, Ernest Odame. But before I introduce my guest to you, I have this very important announcement for you. June is Financial Literacy Month on eTVGhana, Happy FM, and YFM. Tune in to all our shows and learn more about budgeting, saving, financial inclusion, and how to invest your hard-earned money. Be informed about how e-money can make payments easier for you through the use of various online and mobile money platforms. It's the Financial Literacy Month on eTVGhana this June. For sponsorship, please call or WhatsApp 02022222059, 02022222095, or 0242884571. Sponsors for this particular month are Consolidated Bank Ghana. And on this show as well, we'll be giving you investment tips for you to know how to actually make sure you get value for your hard-earned money. And also on the show this evening, we'll be presenting awards to those who were able to come through with their stories on what I love about my dad. And so we actually started this promotion for you to join us by, sending us your thoughts or what you love about your dad. So we have winners for you, and we'll make sure that we present the winners with their prizes on the show tonight. My guest for this evening's discussion, and like I said earlier, the joys and pains of fatherhood, is Dr. Charles Kwamena Archon. And he's a father, he's a husband, and an astute businessman. He's the CEO of Mangel Clicks, and he is my guest for tonight's show. Dr. Charles Kwamena Archon, good evening to you and welcome to Men's Lounge.
Good evening, Raymond. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, in this...
You have a nice studio.
Yeah, thank you very much. In this period of COVID-19, we are all doing everything possible to stick to the protocols.
Yes.
And I must inform viewers that this studio is COVID-19 compliant. And so, if you see us without our face mask, we know that it's highly compliant with the protocols, and everybody here is safe.
Yeah.
But let's start the discussion from what's going to happen this weekend. And this weekend is Father's Day. And it looks like the women have taken the shine from us. Mother's Day seems to have, dominated the airwaves. It seems to be the popular, celebration when it comes to parenting.
Yeah.
But to you, what does Father's Day mean to you? And have fathers been celebrated enough?
Raymond, thank you very much for this question, and my kind regards to your viewers and to the whole team here. I must say that when I came in, I was impressed with your compliance.
Okay.
the COVID compliance. I had to wash my hand and sanitize. I came very, very prepared because I was a pharmacist.
I saw in your mask and all.
I came very prepared. Yes, Father's Day, it's worth celebrating, frankly with you. But I must say that I think, in my own opinion, I think that some people, to some aspect, is not well celebrated as we, the men, would want it. But low or high, it's worth noting, because daddies and papas and puppies, or however you call them, play a key role in the general growth process of children, and even in our adult stage.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Who is an ideal father?
Good question. You know, that question, I was taking my time to go through. I asked myself some questions. Who is an ideal father? Am I being an ideal father? What could I do to make better? Yes, you would look at it, you can look at it this way. Ideal father comes from different perspective. In my perspective, I believe that a father, an ideal father for me, will be someone who can provide for me, who can protect me, and who can pray for me. These three.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
And to most people that I've had opportunity to father or to mentor, they always say, oh, these are the three things we are looking for in a father.
Well, you have hit the nail right on the head with the three things you said. But how important are fathers when it comes to, you know, their influence on the lives of their children?
Yes, it's very, very important. Very good question. The life of a person has different dimensions.
Okay.
Every human being's life has different dimensions. We have the social dimension, we have the education dimension, we have even the spiritual dimension, and the mental dimension. There are so many dimensions. Without the effective role of a father in the house, or in the home, or in the marriage or family, certain aspects of these dimensions cannot be cemented in the life of the child. Really.
Yeah.
So it's very important that, like you said, daddy, when we were discussing earlier, daddies are at home, daddies are doing their job as they are supposed to do, to ensure that all the dimensions of the life of the son or the daughter is well placed and well positioned for the future.
And this is a very special edition of Men's Lounge, and we are dedicating this very edition to fathers. We are celebrating fatherhood on the show tonight, and Father's Day is this Sunday, and so we are doing everything possible to get a lot of thoughts from you. So if you're watching us at home, you can join us with your thoughts. Your submissions will be read on the show. Just tell us, if you're a father, just tell us the pains you have gone through or the joys you have, you know, actually had from fatherhood. And so, you know, your thoughts are welcome on 02022 22054. But let me ask you this. When it comes to decision making, you know, how does being a father influence the decisions you take, especially with regards to, you know, the well-being of your children and everything? Yeah. What when it comes to decision making?
I've had a privilege of growing up in a home system where we could discuss. Okay. We really could discuss. People could give their opinion. And this is how it is with my home now. In my perspective, throughout my travels and experience in life in West Africa, especially in West Africa, I realized that most parents do not allow the consultative kind of decision taking. But in our home, we take our decisions based on discussions. First and foremost, if you're a father and you're taking a decision, you must ensure that the decision is far-reaching and beneficial. You should not put your children or those you take care of in jeopardy, because it's far more than just taking a decision that I'm going to do this, I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to build a house. It involves a lot more. It determines even your neighbors, it determines the future of your children, even the marriages of your children, who they get connected to. So many effects come out of the decisions one takes. So as a father, you have to take a decision based on very strong retrospection. You also have to take the decision prayerfully. I mean, because you never know the future.
Yeah.
You can plan how much you can plan, but sometimes the future doesn't go the way you plan. So it's very, very important for us to ensure that we take a decision prayerfully, but as a family. So there's a collective, responsibility. This is my opinion.
You've said one thing consistently.
Yeah.
You've spoken about prayer a couple of times.
Yes.
How much of a role does religion play in parenting? And I'm asking you this because over the last, few years, in fact, growing up and all, realize that it's the women who seem to be strong when it comes to the prayer angle. How strong should a father be?
I'm happy you've come to this side. If you take life in general,
yeah,
like you said, fatherhood, the topic was the joys and the pain of fatherhood.
Yeah.
If you take fatherhood in general,
yeah,
even according to the Quran or the Bible, the father is the head of the family.
Yeah.
And let me give you a scenario. If you have a big plantain tree and it's standing and the small ones are around, if the father, the parent one is not strong, it's very easy for you to plug off the small one. So for parents, especially for fathers, it's very, very key that one, not just prayer, but you get all the things that I talked about, the 5 dimensions of life is very key. But of course, because in this world, it's not just the physical, you need to ensure that the aspect of prayer is very key. Yeah. But of course, you need the education, you need to make money, you need to make sure your wife is well taken care of, your children are taken care of, your, what we call the connections, those who live with you, those you take care of, they are all well taken care of. But prayer is key.
So for our fathers out there who believe that it's only the women who need to be spiritually strong, prayer is key. And as the head of the family, you have to make sure everybody
is strong.
Everybody, you are strong, and everybody is strong in the family. But Doc, let me come to this part. When it comes to fatherhood, a lot of people feel it's easy. It's a bed of roses. It's just about making money available and all. But there are definitely challenges or pains fathers go through. Can you share with us some of the challenges you have gone through as a father, and generally, challenges fathers go through?
Okay, thank you very much, Raymond. I've had the blessing of being a father for 15 years.
Okay.
I'm married 17 years. I just celebrated my 17th year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Last week, and I can talk to it.
Okay.
I can really talk to it. Because I've also had the opportunity to go through a lot of challenges and blessings as well. Okay. You see, when you give birth, it's not as simple as, excuse me to say, a man and a woman coming together, doing their own thing.
Okay.
There is a produce. A produce. There's a result of what you do, all things being equal. And when that result comes out, what comes out of it also includes children. It could include whatever, but children come out of it. And like you said, Raymond, it's not as simple as giving birth to babies.
Okay.
You need to be responsible. You need to be caring. You need to even be respectful. How the children see you grow up or relate in the home with their mom and all that affect their general well-being in a way. And it also helps them to develop a career mindset. So they know that, okay, when I grow up, this is how I want to be. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. My children told me, Daddy, when we grow up, we want to marry somebody like mommy.
Okay.
I'm like, what kind of stuff is that? You need to pray. Because they've seen love, they've seen care, they've seen a lot of integration in the family. And this is standard. I may say that it's not the same everywhere. It could, I mean, it could be the same. It could also be based on mindset, experiences people have gone through. I mean, people go through a lot of things in life. A lot of things.
So, overcoming those challenges, so as a father, definitely you have highlighted that there are challenges, there are difficulties, there are, tough periods. How does one, being a father, overcome some of these challenges?
First and foremost, it is a privilege to be a father.
Okay.
I must tell you.
Yeah.
Anytime I have the opportunity to be with my children, with my family, my wife and the children, I don't negotiate for anything. How to overcome it is what we are looking at. We know there are challenges. Good. Overcoming it is just like overcoming any other thing. You need to strategize.
Okay.
You need to plan. You need to look at what we call the cause and effect. So check how this decision I'm taking, what can I do? But mainly, you must do it together with the mom. Okay. At the top level. Yeah. You can't do it alone. You can't. I quite remember one of my kids had some challenges with academics. And everybody around him said, oh, he's not going to make it and all of that. But I remember every day, like you said, the mothers tend to pray more. Yeah. She will be on her knees praying and praying and praying. Today, he's doing things that amazes me. And he's one of the best schools in this country. Wow. Yeah, for real. So you need to determine, you need to plan, you need to persevere. You pursue the vision. This is my strategy. This is what I want to do. And you push up. And I'm telling you, with a little prayer, as you said, it will work. But you must talk. Yeah, you must talk. You must define it. So
for you as a father, dealing with some of these struggles, dealing with some of these challenges, has there ever been a point where you've really been frustrated and wondered why you even decided to go on this route?
Oh, yes, several times. I can tell you some off the camera, but for now, because in life comes with its eventualities. Okay. Life for a father out there who may be struggling and wondering, should I move on, should I run away from the children, it's uncommon. It's uncommon in some communities. But in our kind of communities and experiences, it's very common. I face that. Okay. I face so many things that some are not right now very appropriate for radio and television. But you need to first of all have a focus point. Where do I want to go? Okay. What do I want to achieve? You know what, Raymond? I took a decision that, personally, no matter what happened, I wouldn't want to let my family disintegrate. That's the decision I took. Okay. And that's the decision my father took as well. So when the challenges came, I said, no, I will pursue, I will persevere, I will do whatever I can do within my power. And guess what? I got the results.
And so perseverance is very important. Perseverance is key as a father. And the challenges will come, the frustrations will come in, but you need to be focused. And Dr. Charles Kwame Archon is my guest, and we are just going through the joys and pains of fatherhood. And there's a special Father's Day edition of a Men's Lounge. So you can keep your thoughts coming, you can keep your messages coming, share your experiences with us, your joys, your pains, and we'll be glad to read them on the show. 02022222054. Doc, yes. What kind of disciplinarian are you?
I'm very strict.
Okay.
I'm very strict.
So no one plays around.
You know, I don't know if there's some grade or some categorization, whatever it is. But I changed to become quite effective in my strict life from an experience I had in Turkey. I will never forget. Okay. I will share with you. I have a friend from Malta and another friend from Yemen. There are two different countries, one in Europe, one in Arab. And then myself, I'm sitting there with them, we're having a good time. And then Alan says, my kids like throwing things around. And when I come back from work, I get crazy. And then the other guy says, beat the hell out of them. And then I go like, oh, for us in Africa, we'll spank you and all that. I mean, get you to fix the place. He said, no, you don't do that. He said, my wife taught me something. I want to show you, Charles. He said, well, my wife will say, allow them to mess the place up. And then after that, give them time. From this time to that time.
To clean it up.
You will clean it up. When they do first time, they get tired. Second time, they try reducing the mess. By third time, they play with care. So I learned that.
Okay.
It's something that we are not taught. Most of us are not taught.
So
you allow the person to play. You allow the person to go through the normal lives. Because children come with many stages of their growth.
Yeah.
So allow them. By the time he destroys one thing, he's able to realize that if I play it this way, I'll destroy it. That's why we use Legos on them. We allow them to use Legos. So I realize that it's not, you must allow them somehow. Be careful though, but you must allow them to take some initiatives and repair damages.
So how well has that worked for you personally?
Very well.
Okay.
Very, very well. Very well. They don't break things. In my home, we like a lot of glass things, but they don't break anything. They are very careful.
Before we go, you spoke about stages.
Yes.
And it brings me to the question I was going to ask after the break, but let me quickly bring that question in.
Okay.
Which is tougher, dealing with children at early stage or when they become teenagers? Which is tougher?
Can I be frank with you?
Be frank with me.
If I'm being very frank with you, I can tell you they all come with their challenges.
Okay.
All of them. I mean, you get little children, they are playing, they are almost endangering themselves, and they don't understand why they should stop what they are doing.
Okay.
You, the parent, you, the daddy or the mom, have to know what it takes to handle that situation, because they are going to cry.
Yeah.
The adolescent thinks that it's time for me to show off my muscles. For the guys, you know, it's time for me to go out and put on my stuff and let my... So it's a different scenario. There could be danger there as well. I mean, they could get pregnant, they could get all those things. So you realize that some fathers are very strict when the children get to 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. They are extremely strict. No, you need to cooperate with them, dialogue with them, show them the implications and the benefit of what they are doing and what they could do. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, start early, number one. Start to mentor them early. Get them to understand the social vices, what it means, good and bad. You'll be amazed. They will take good decisions.
When we return, we'll continue with the stages, because I'm still interested in dealing with them through the stages.
Yeah.
And so when we come back from the break, we'll continue from that part before we get into your joys of fatherhood. You share with us your sweet experiences of being a father. But you are still watching Men's Lounge, coming to you live from the studios of eTVGhana here inside Asylum Down. My guest, Dr. Charles Kwame Archon, is the CEO of Mangel Clicks, and he's joining me this evening to have the discussion on the joys and pains of fatherhood. After the break, the discussion continues on the Men's Lounge. I've done a lot of questions.
Oh my
goodness. Welcome back from the break. You are still watching Men's Lounge with me, Raymond Nyamado, and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Nanaya Odame. And good time to get into the rest of the discussion. But before I get back to my guest, Dr. Charles Kwame Archon, we called for entries for our special Father's Day celebration. And we asked all our viewers out there to actually tell us about, their most pleasant memories about their dad. So what we asked was that, what you love about your dad. Tell us what you love about your dad. We received lots of entries, and today we have a winner. We'll be announcing that shortly. But I would like to say a big thank you to our sponsors who provided us with lots of packages for the winners of this particular competition. And first of all, let me start by saying a big thank you to Caveman Watches. And do you know that Caveman Watches is giving free customization on all watches this Father's Day period? Yes, the Made in Ghana wrist watch brand that got featured in the New York Times recently is doing something great in Ghana. Purchase this global standard made in Ghana watch and put a smile on your dad's face this Father's Day. Their watches start from 350 cedis upwards. Contact them on 055 751 6744 or Caveman Watches on all their social media platforms. You can visit www.cavemanwatches.com. They are located opposite Adjingano Station. Hashtag Caveman Watches. We say a big thank you. And Onga, Mama's Helping Hand. Onga have also provided us with lots of goodies, lots of spices for this Father's Day competition. And also Papa's Pizza. If you love the great taste of pizza, Papa's Pizza definitely is the place to be. And we also have a hamper coming from Impressions Gift and Hampers, located at La Paz Malam Junction and the Greater Accra region. Alomo Bitters are also proud to be part of this year's competition, and Alomo Bitters are the proud sponsors of Men's Lounge. And also we have Cave and Gardens Limited, who are importers and distributors of assorted drinks. They have Condor Peak wines, and also they have Ocean Spray juices. And so they are also located on the Spintex Road around the Coca-Cola roundabout. We say a big thank you to all of them. And let me say our winner will be going home with a Caveman watch, a package from Onga, vouchers from Papa's Pizza, a hamper from Impressions Gifts and Hampers, Alomo Bitters, and also drinks from Cave and Gardens Ghana Limited. And the two other winners will also be receiving vouchers from Papa's Pizza, a package from Onga, drinks from Cave and Gardens Ghana Limited. And we say a big thank you to all those who participated. And it's a good time for me to talk about our winner. And our winner is, for this year's competition, what I love about my dad, is Grace Chocho Kwe, and she joined us from Dakuman. So Grace Chocho Kwe had this to say about her dad, and I'll quickly read through it. Doc, I'm sure you would love the story. She has quite an interesting story here, okay. And so I'll read through it quickly, okay, for our viewers to know who actually won and what she said. It says, my father, by name Mr. Joseph Amatekwe, is someone who is blessed with 7 children. The man is very caring, sympathetic, very responsible, loving, kind, and in fact means the world of positive to me. One thing that amazes me most about him is that although he's an illiterate, he has ensured that all his children have been to school to the highest level they can. Those who are managing their own businesses are doing very well by God's grace. By God's grace, he is taking care of me at tertiary level. That's Ghana Institute of Journalism. He is just a farmer, but he is very responsible. I quite remember when I was admitted at Wesley Grammar School in 2013, he said, Chucho, I hope you know I have not been to school. I have not been to school before, but you have an opportunity I never had. Please make sure you learn very hard to become someone great in future, okay? That statement brought tears to my eyes, and indeed, by the grace of God, I did tremendously well in my WASI examination, and that landed me in the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Now I am in my third year, level 300. And she continues to say, as at now, he's at my hometown in Asabade in the South District of the Greater Accra region under the Obum Domiabra constituency. I stay at Dakuman and he pays my rent simply because he is very responsible. He does not want me to look for my own money to rent an apartment. What a lovely and caring father God has blessed me and my siblings with. Mr. Joseph Amatekwe is caring, is so caring that after harvest, out of 100%, he can share 40% to neighbors. He really has a good heart. One more thing, he is an elder of the Church of Pentecost, and for this reason, all my neighbors call him Da or Elder. I love my father very much because he's kind, caring, responsible, sympathetic, and in fact, any positive word that describes my father. And this one actually came from Grace Chochokwe from Dakuman. So she's a winner for what I love about my dad competition that we started here on the Men's Lounge. And so congratulations to Chocho. And you can come to the premises of eTV Ghana tomorrow for your prize. And Doc, what do you have to say about Chocho's piece?
To be very honest with you, you can see I was just humbled. Yeah. Really, I was humble. Chocho, God bless you. And Chocho's dad is Mr. Amatekwe.
Yes,
Mr. Amatekwe, thank you. Thank you very much. Because there are many fathers who bend their back. There are many, many fathers who give valuable counsel. Not just the money aspect. There are many fathers who straighten their children. And of course, nobody likes to be straightened.
Yeah.
So they tend to say, oh, my daddy is this, my daddy is that. But I tell you, there are many, many good fathers who are doing a lot for the society, through their children, for humanity, cross country. You go, I have experience of travel around this country, travel abroad, many places. There are people who have been, whose character can tell you whether there's a father in the house or there's no father in the house. You can tell it so easily because it's like there's no check. Yeah. So the father figure alone is a check. And this is what he's saying. He pays for the rent, so that your child doesn't have to go and do illicit something to raise funds. Yeah. And this is good. So may God bless him. Yeah.
May God bless Chocho's dad, Mr. Amate Kwe. But you've spoken about the stages of development.
Yes.
And at this point, I would ask you, when children are moving into adulthood,
yes, what
style of parenting, or how does a father deal with them when they are moving into that stage?
Good. I've had the opportunity of reading some forms of sociology and psychology and all that in my readings, and but tonight is not about that.
Yeah.
You see, children are human beings just like us, adults. We know that fatherhood is a concept, and especially for the boy child, you are grooming him to be a father one day.
Okay.
What do you do to his mindset, his psyche, his personal profile, in whatever you impart to him, determines how he will be tomorrow.
Okay.
You are with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
If you get him to understand that fatherhood is a privilege, it's something that is given by virtue of God, being, more or less being with you, you don't take it for granted. So you would have to let it be a privilege and do your best that you can do to give support to your children and provide for them and protect them.
I have a message coming in from Frank Afechi from Takrade. He says, please, is there any advice for we upcoming fathers? I sometimes fear how fatherhood looks like. And it continues to say, my father is very, very strict, and I'm afraid I may apply same method because someone said it's in the blood. What do you have to say to Frank?
My dear Frank, my father told me something. He said, if you do good, you do for yourself. And if you do bad, you do for yourself. That's what my father told me. So in my life, I can just imagine Frank's situation. In my life, anytime there was something fishy, something to do, I will go like, hey, if I do good, I do for myself. But I will tell you something. Daddy is being strict for special reasons. There's a particular reason why he's being strict. Maybe he may not communicate it to him, but there's a reason for everything. So for me, what he needs to do is to find out why his father is being extremely strict, and then see maybe in his life, in his time, he may not have the same experience. So then there's no need to be that strict.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
If you live in a compound house, for example, anything can happen.
Yeah.
In a compound house. You can, I've lived in a compound house before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can move from one person's room to another, nobody will see you. But if you live in a gated community, some nice, villages and all that, it's even censored. The door is censored, you can't go. So this is it. The scenarios are different, really.
Yeah.
The scenarios are different.
So this brings me to my next question. Over-parenting.
Yeah.
A lot of parents want to know everything their children do.
That's true.
They want to be in every, every step they take.
That's true.
Micromanaging everything they do. And there's a good case for that, but it has its negative side as well. So what would you say about overparenting? And would you say overparenting sometimes makes children get out of hand? They become rebellious, they turn into something else because they are being monitored too much. What would you say about that?
Raymond, thank you for this question. It's a question that I address not just in my home, in other homes as well. Because I have NGO and people come and they also speak and they also seek counsel. Raymond, in this life, you can macromanage however you want to macromanage. If the person decides that I won't do it, he will not do it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You can use force. Let's say you can push, force a horse to the river by all of that. Yeah, you can't force to drink. Yeah. You can macromanage, but really and honestly, what as a father I would do is that I will let you know the implications of not being assertive. Okay. For example, I will let you know the implications of not being bold, implications of not doing the right thing, okay? Yeah. And I will let you know also the benefits on the other side. If you were to do this, what it will be like. Let me share a story with you. Okay. One of my sons didn't like to cook, to go near the kitchen at all.
Okay.
At all. I mean, I could just imagine what was going through his head when he saw me cooking in the kitchen. So one day I said, there's no food in the house. We are not going to eat. Mommy is not around. And today I don't want to cook. You could just imagine. I saw him gallivanting up and down. Then he was hungry, but he can't go and turn the gas on because he doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't even know how to turn it. Guess what? Within 2 months, he learned how to cook. Okay. Every time the mom is in the kitchen, he goes to stand there, he's looking, and he knew how to cook. He cooks for us every time. Okay. Oh. During the COVID, we've been enjoying ourselves because he's the cook of the house. So don't micromanage too much, I would say, but please also micromanage sometimes. Okay. Yeah. So it's good, and you know you must wait. You must wait. It's not always good to say, do it this way, do it. It doesn't even give boldness to the child. He cannot think for himself or herself. Okay. You know. So you must allow them so that they can groom up and take responsibility for the next stage.
I have a message coming from James, and is joining us from Wasa, Ekopon. He says, good evening, Raymond. And he says, God bless ETV for the good work and happy Father's Day to all good and responsible fathers in advance. As a father, you need to be principled and have time for your family, even though you need to feed the house, but that should not deprive your children from child-father relationship, and that's very important. Thank you very much, James, for joining us.
And James must also knows about something called core values. Okay. He has the principles, but he needs to define core values. If you define your core values, Raymond, there are things you will never do. Okay. You know, it would stabilize you, even in difficult times. So James, keep that as well.
James, that's a message from Doc to you. Doc, let's quickly look at what's been happening in recent times. Yeah. COVID-19 has reared its ugly head. Every sector of the economy has been hit, even in the homes. Yeah. You know, education, everything has taken a big hit. Now, students, okay, our children, most of them would have been in school, but because of COVID-19, most of them are at home. Yeah. How are you dealing with the pressure, you know, of dealing with the work and dealing with the children as well at the same time during this period? Yeah. And what should fathers at home watching us this evening, what should they be doing in times like this?
You know, there's something going on right now in the world. It's called the WWW. Everything is about the internet. Yeah. We are doing Zoom. We are doing so many functions are going on. IT programming, software development, but this is bringing knowledge. Can you imagine? I'll tell you a story. I had a white lady come stay with me and my family for some time. And basic things about internet we didn't know. I'll be honest with you. Oh, okay. The basic things. But I tell you the surprising thing. From, let's say, a year now, my kids are really IT knowledgeable now because they are online and they get opportunity to learn online. Yeah. So they are really learning. So I would say that the COVID, yes, it's dangerous, and we must be careful, really, like I told you before we started. It's a serious situation, but it's giving opportunity to the Ghanaian child who has access to internet, an ability to expand his horizon. Because they have the same platform now, like anybody in Bologna or Las Vegas, wherever it is. Yeah. It's the same internet.
Teleconference.
Same thing, teleconferences. So if you want to learn things that they are learning there, you can learn it the same time here. Yeah. And you can imagine what it's doing to, with all due respect, some children. Some children are not having the opportunity. I've seen the Ghana government doing something for our children. We thank God for that. But really, those who are exposed to high level of education, the international schools, you can imagine what they are learning. It's amazing. I mean, I had a 6-year-old kid say, Daddy, can you turn on my Zoom for me?
Wow.
6 years. 5, maybe 5. She actually called her dad and said, Daddy, can you come and turn on my Zoom? And I'm like, what is going on here? Zoom. Yeah. 5-year-old kid. So imagine in 5 years' time, she knows about Zoom. If she's corresponding with somebody from another country, maybe a more developed country, it's giving her boldness. She can talk about it. She has access. She has knowledge. And this is exciting. So it's not all, yes, it's bad. Zoom. COVID-19 is killing human beings. There is nothing we can negotiate on that. Yeah. Death is not something to be very happy about. But the truth is that within all that is happening around it, the adverse of it, there's also the positive of the social media, the development, the ITs.
So that brings me to my next question.
Yes.
Social media and technology. Mm-hmm. We all know social media and technology, to a large extent, if managed well, should be able to help the kids and all. But we all know social media, in recent times, or, for some time now, has come with its ills. Yes. It's actually, shown the kids things they shouldn't be exposed to and all. How have you handled, your kids when it comes to social media and the use of technology?
Raymond, wisdom and leadership. Wisdom and leadership. If you don't stay at home, you can't monitor certain things that happen at home. Even if you choose to set up a whole camera system. I mean, in our home, the kids are on the Zoom and is it Google Meet, Google, all sorts of Google systems, and they are schooling. And my company develops systems as well, IT systems. So I know what they are doing. But really, we check them. We check to see what they are studying. We check to see how much information. And you can do that. Most parents don't know. You can track the history of usage.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You can easily do that. Check where have they been to, which site. Even when they delete it, you can still check. Yeah. Okay, because there's a panel behind that you can do all this. It's about knowledge. Yeah. But you need wisdom to guide children in times like this. There are many parents, they are buying the bundle. Okay. Yeah. They're buying the bundle, giving it to the kids. And they don't know what they use it for. That's not good leadership. Yeah, that's not good leadership.
I have a message coming in from Agbaji Stephen, Mr. Agbaji Stephen. He says, today I remember my father for all he is to me. Oh. The man with you there, Dr. Archon, is a man I'm privileged to meet in my life. Time with him is a time to know God and be a more prayerful person. Wow. You can never visit him without encounter with God in prayer.
Wow.
Thanks for being what he is to me. And it's coming from his joining us from Oga Ritko, Medina. Wow. And he says, my father always tells me to remember I have a name to keep, so I should be what I am always. Okay, yeah. So this message is coming from Stephen, and he has some nice words for you, Doc.
You know, as you say this, gets me excited. There's a man. He doesn't even know I'm sitting here. He's called Nanose SCBA Poku. Yeah. If I got the name right. Okay. He gave me his car for my wedding 17 years ago. Okay. And like you said earlier, some challenges in family times came, and I was taking some very tough decision. Very tough decision. I did what I had to do, but I had taken a decision to do something very drastic. God blessed me to meet him one day, and he gave me one advice. I will never forget in my life. May God bless him. He said, normally people go through this at their very old age. What you have gone through is at your prime age. Go down on your knees and ask God, why have you gone through it at your prime age, not at your old age? Yeah. And he will tell you your ministry.
Wow.
I'm quoting his words.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't even remember.
Yeah.
He's one of the good fathers I have. I also have Apostle Nimo, of the former chairman of Christ Apostolic Church. There are people who have played key roles in my life because of the prayer thing you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because life without prayer is useless. It's useless. You'll come to nothing.
Dr. Charles Archon, CEO of Manjel Clicks, is my guest on the Men's Lounge, and we'll go for a short break. When we return, he'll tell us about the best part of being a dad, the joys of being a dad. And I'll open the phone lines for you to join me with your thoughts as well. You tell us what you've been through as a dad. You tell us your pains and your joys as well on the Men's Lounge. We'll go for a short break. When we return, the discussion continues. Back from the break, you are still watching Men's Lounge with me, Raymond Yamado, and like I said at the start of the show, I'm sitting in for Ernest Odami, who is a bit under the weather. Ernest Odami, wherever you are, speedy recovery to you. My guest, Dr. Charles Archon, he's the CEO of Manjel Clicks. He's joining me to have a discussion on the joys and pains of fatherhood. Doc, before I get into my messages and open the phone lines, share your joys with us. The best part of being a dad.
Really?
Best part of being a father.
Really? You know, there are many best parts. But the really, really best part for me is the day I saw my first son.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in the
When
hospital.
he was born?
When he was born. And I remember I took his finger. I just held the finger and checked and said, this looks like my finger.
Oh.
It was very enriching. And then also the joy when you come back from work tired and you see them come in speed. You know that daddy has come. Daddy has come. You know, I was living in a store building, so when I come with my car, I was using a Pajero that had a certain sound.
Okay.
So they are able to pick the sound from far, and they can tell their mommy, daddy is coming. You know, and I have so much expectation when I'm coming home to meet them. It's money cannot buy.
Yeah. It's
money
priceless.
cannot buy. Money cannot buy.
Doc, I have a message for you. This message is coming. Okay, the person he had his name. He said, Dr. Charles Archon, you are a giant. Please, could you ask your guest if he attended GSTS? He looks like my former school prefect.
Yes, Raymond. I went to GSTS Form 1 to Upper 6, and I was the school prefect in my time. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that answers your questions. You can join us on the phone lines now, 0555-657278, 0555-657278, and we'll be glad to hear your thoughts on the discussion this evening. Let me read a few of your messages. Good evening. I'm a Kia from Archon Estate. I always get angry at my 4-year-old niece. How do you handle a kid who is always talking back, asking questions about everything they see and hear?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, to me, what it means is that boy is intelligent.
Okay.
That's what it means. And you need to, maybe he needs to get a little help from people who are into child upbringing, child management. But really, children who ask a lot of questions have certain level of IQ.
Okay.
They are inquisitive.
Okay.
They are inquisitive. And take it from me, if you nurture it, they come out great. But you need to be able to manage them.
Wow. Well, this one is also coming from Michael Benang, and he says, my greetings to Dr. Archon and to eTV. He's an excellent father and a great mentor. I'm excited that he's the one granting this session. I had the privilege of working with him before and still maintain a very good relationship. He's an outstanding leader and a great man of God. Okay.
Who is that?
This one is the message came from Michael Benang.
Michael Benan. Okay, yes. Oh,
yes.
Thank you, Michael. Yes.
Okay, so the GSTS, the message came from Dr. Stephen Ajimayoboa. Yes,
Dr.
I think he's joining us from UK.
He's outside.
Yes,
okay.
so he joined.
I'm very grateful, Doc. Yes.
Okay, so these are the messages coming in for you. And before we go, let me get into. Okay, someone is saying. Okay, someone is saying you should pay rent for them as a father. That's an interesting one. But Doc, where do you see yourself in the next few years? Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years as a father? Okay. Where do you intend seeing yourself, your family, and to all fathers out there, what message do you have for them?
Okay. I have a personal principle, and my core values on it is based on leadership, quality, discipline, and productivity. In the next 5 years, I intend to really get high up there. Yeah. Score no less than 92%.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So for our viewers at home, I have to once again acknowledge our sponsors, and Alomo Bitters, proud sponsors of this show. Alomo Bitters, like I said, made in Ghana by Casa Preco Limited, made with some of the finest herbs, from tropical plants you can find in Ghana. You can drink it straight, or you can, actually have it on rocks, or you can mix it with your favorite mixer. Alomo Bitters, proud to be part of this particular show. And also we have Caveman Watches. Caveman Watches, proud to be part of this this event, and they have a lovely watch here for the winner of this evening's competition, or the Father's Day competition. So this is the Caveman watch in your shot. So if you need a Caveman watch, you can just follow them on their social media handles, and you would get the chance to see what they have there. And also this gift is coming from Impressions Gift and Hampers. They are also delivering this to our winner, and we have the Onga package. But Doc, before you go, I know you've taken care of your kids, right from infancy, and that's one of your best moments.
Yes.
How do you prepare food, baby food for your kids? Yamvita is actually sponsoring this one. Yamvita wants you to, tell viewers recipe for your kids.
Yes, first and foremost, you need to make sure that you have whatever systems, bottles that they use, and the water has to be sterile. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, the water has to be sterile, and then you also have to heat it to a particular temperature. It's not all the temperatures that is good for the baby. Yeah. And then the last one, which is the part you must be extremely careful, is the stirring. It must really, really be stirred properly so that it can stay together.
So, Doc, I have a hamper from Yamvita for you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if I'm allowed to actually pick it.
Okay.
So this hamper is for you.
Okay.
So this one is from Yamvita.
Okay, thank you very much. So they are saying that I should give birth to more.
Yes, so more.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me say a big thank you to Onga as well. So Onga is also, has this for you as well. So
wow. More food for the children.
More food for the children.
All right,
during this COVID time. And so, let me say a big thank you to all our viewers for joining us on Men's Lounge this evening. Let me say a big thank you to my guest, Dr. Charles Kwamina Archon, CEO of Manjel Clicks. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. It's been a pleasure, having this discussion with you. And I picked up lots of lessons. And to all our young fathers out there, to all upcoming fathers, the message is clear. Stay focused, be determined, be consistent, and make sure you keep the word of God, in everything you do. Make sure you pray. Spiritually, make sure you're strong. Let me say a big thank you to the production team and to everybody who made the show a success. And to Ernest Odame, I say speedy recovery to you. Until we meet again next week, Thursday, on Men's Lounge, I say have a good evening and bye-bye. My name, Raymond Nyamado.